Hey everyone, Mango7 here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. Today we're going to talk about Tamarrine. I wasn't sure if I should make this video yet since I'm not really ready to talk too much about her, but you guys need to know right off the bat what I think about her, how I think she'll play, where I think she'll be good, and I think it's really important with Tamarrine because she's got a really confusing skill set, and it really does not really make sense how she plays out. So one thing I just want to say is, her third skill resets every wave. So that means if you're on wave 1 and you have 5 turns remaining, next wave it goes back to 9. So just this specific information makes her pretty bad for a lot of things, like pretty terrible. So need to keep that in mind when going forward. It's a chance there's a bug, but I doubt it. The way it's worded here, it definitely says, implies that it resets every single wave. So keep that in mind as we go forward and talk about her. So the first thing is I want to mention that she is voiced by Sandra Saad. Here is her IMDb. Here I'll link to her Twitter in the description below as well if you want to check her out, see what other things she did. I think it's really important to see where these voices come from. She also does some stuff in Fallout 76 apparently. That's kind of cool, and I'm pretty excited to have her on board of the Epic 7 community. So, on to Tamarrine. Obviously, the star of this banner is the artifact. The artifact is insane, super, super amazing, and that's one of the traditions I see going on with these banners. There's always like a really, really, really good character and a trashy artifact, or a really, really, really good artifact and a not so good character. Some pretty good examples of this, I think, are Celestine, a fantastic artifact mixed with Chiron, not the best unit. There's also stuff like Kisei, mixed with like Alexa's basket or something, like something not very good. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't a good artifact. And then there's stuff like Dienne tied with Noble Oath. So you can see what they kind of do. And when we see an artifact as good as Idol's Cheer is, it kind of means the character, if they go like they have been in the past, is not as good as we may think. And I think that's the case with Tamarrine. I hate to badmouth her because she's just ultra freaking adorable. And also, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here just to show you some really cool aspects of her. She's got this little thing here on her belt. I haven't fully done her story yet. Maybe that's shown in her story, which is really cool. And then if we look at her arm here, she's also got the same thing on her microphone. And if we look at her fabric there on the microphone, it also has the same fabric on her little thigh brace. So I think that's ultra adorable. Another cool thing here too is we have a little tattoo of some sort, and we see that same symbol, maybe the symbol of the Dark Lord, all over everything. You can see it under her thing there too. I don't know, I just think the effort they put in to their outfits is amazing. And we can also see that same symbol on her hairband there too. Super, super, super amazing. Unbelievably happy with her design. Unbelievably happy with her normal form as well. So as for Tamarrine, I'm just gonna say it, and I don't think she's very good right now. In fact, I think she's quite bad. I'm trying to find a place to use her in my head because I obviously have not fully kitted her out yet, but I have a lot of guild members who have, and there's just no real place we can figure out where to use her. She may be fantastic for longer scale battles, but even if you're bringing her in and out of hunts, for example, she's going to enter the hunt stage with 9 things on cooldown onto this. And then you also have the possibility of comboing her in arena. You could use Iceria to reset her cooldown and then do the 50% combat readiness buff and go that way. But you could also just use Rose and Judith, or Rose and anybody else, or any sort of combat booster. So we're at kind of a point where I feel like she needs a buff at this point. So maybe if you're not super interested in her looks, you're not super interested in her character, maybe hold off on summoning for a little bit until we get some more feedback on Tamarrine. I really want to say just go in and pull, but I think these are one of the ones you need to wait for. That said, the artifact is insane, and I think it's definitely worth pulling for. So even if you're not really going for the character, I think this artifact is worth getting at least one of if you can, but be wary about what might be coming in the future. Just the fact that you can throw this on your Angelica and have a 60% combat readiness boost if it's max, so probably like 15% for most people, is just nuts, like super nuts. The fact that you can get 45% combat readiness or 60% in one Wyvern rotation onto your main DPS is just horribly amazing. A couple other things too is she's really good with people who have stuff on their first skill with their guaranteed dual attack. So good examples of this are anybody like Violet, anybody that has focus. So I plan to build her with Charlotte as well, something that gets a focus on her first skill. You could also combo her with somebody like Kisei, have a guaranteed attack with Kisei, and then get a Dust Devil proc at the same time is another cool thing. But at the same time, you have to remember, once you go into the boss fight that matters, you've got like 9 freaking turns or 5 turns or so with her cooldown reductions to really get her there. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about Tamarrine. That said, her stats are something we need to talk about too. I talked about them a little bit yesterday too, but basically she has insanely high attack, insanely high speed for a Soul Weaver, and really low HP and defense. This means you kind of want to build her attack to take advantage of that high base attack, but it's just like not really worth it. So you kind of need to build her as fast as you can with as much HP as you can, in my opinion. So I think I would be building her with a speed set and an HP substat set. And her awakenings are kind of the same. She gets a bunch of attack, which is just so weird. So very weird. And some speed there. Her multipliers are also not very good. So you're not even going to get too much damage from your multipliers because they're really low. Yeah, overall, I'm unimpressed. But it's okay to be unimpressed with heroes every now and then. Like, not every hero needs to be the best hero in the game. I'm still going to have a blast with her, and I'm still going to have fun with her, and I would still pull with her. No matter what anyway, just from her design and her character. So I'm not even worried about how good she is. I hope I can find some combos to really make her useful, and I hope there are specific situations in Guild Wars I might want to try her out. But for me, in all honesty right now, I'm going to have a hard time using her over Hazel, for example. Especially since I have 3 people now with attack buff up for fire. I have my Hazel that gives attack buff, I have my Araminta that gives my attack buff, and I have now my Tamarrine that gives attack buff. So maybe if they gave her something a little more unique on her second skill here, so it wasn't just attack, maybe they gave her crit damage too, or crit rate, some sort of really offensive buff, just because it takes so long to get here. Like, if you bring her into a PvP battle, like a 4v4 arena battle, she is not transforming. It's just not a thing that happens unless you have Iseria. So I'm just not sure what else to say about this. I do think she may get some tweaks in the future, especially if what all of this theory craft really comes true. Like, I do think she might get some changes in the future, but for now, I don't think she's the greatest. So that's about all I want to say about her right now. I'm going to be 6-starring her in the next couple days, and I will have some actual gameplay with her. I'm sorry I didn't have that for you today, but I can promise you I've talked to a bunch of people who do have her 6-starred and built, and the results are very underwhelming. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.